Hello and welcome to the Talking Wednesday podcast. This is impromptu.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're in the same room. Let's put it that way.
Look, I can touch his hat. Ooh. But we're still laying it out the same because we don't have the graphic to be one camera. So you just I've ruined the illusion, haven't I?
Yeah,
I've ruined the. Oh well.
Anyway, welcome to this episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast. It's me and Jack. James is stupidly busy during April.
Yes, the next 3 episodes will be me and Jake.
I think the next episode is me and James, and I think the next after that is me and
just
you.
trying to kick me off. I see. Just kick me off.
But yeah,
Wow.
how we start things. How's your week been?
It's not been too bad. I've got a. It's one of those weird things where for ages you sort of go, oh, I'm not going to get anywhere with something, and then suddenly about 3 things come at once with voiceover-y sort of stuff. So that's quite exciting, and I'm a writer on something as well. Ooh. But that's all very fun and dandy, and it's not going to be long until I go to Rotterdam as well.
Oh God, yeah, you're doing
TwitchCon,
TwitchCon, aren't you?
Yeah.
About that.
Amongst lots of people that need to remember what deodorant is.
Oh,
Please, dear God. But yeah, not too bad other than that. And then I decided, you know what? Sod it. The weather's nice. I'll drive up to Sheffield and see Jake.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Random
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, it's been an interesting week
Yeah.
for me because a fine Monday after I did my debrief. And then it all went a bit Pete Tong, which we're going to get into later.
Oh, really?
I think at the minute I'm a little bit like dejected with
Yeah.
everything and how everything's going and stuff. It's like the week of, I say, end of March to going into April hasn't been great. Like that kind of period for me personally. So
You've had a lot going on.
I
bless you.
could have done without a Chancery clanger,
Yeah.
as they will call it in the industry. We can't
the
swear.
industry. Oh, yes.
But it's been a weird one. It's one of the ones where I'm looking forward to the summer, to having the break, because we've now got only 6 games left,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous when you think about it. You think how we got to 6 games left. So I'm always trying to plan content and stuff like that. I've been playing a couple of games as well. Need to get Atom 4 going because I am.
Yes, because that looks really, really
it
good.
looks really good.
It's just the British Fallout.
I know
Fallout London was.
I know
British
James
Fallout. Oh.
has started that and he's
Yeah.
enjoying it. But apart from that, everything's been good. Shall we get on to the footballing side of things?
Yeah.
We'll start with the match review and then we'll go on to everything. We just played Hull City, and what do you think?
Well, we got. I'm not gonna do that. No, I was about to do the whole thing that the Hull fans like to do all the time that they think is hilarious, but it's just like, please find something better.
But we
please.
didn't
though. But yeah, they will disagree online. However, the actual truth of the matter is we
great.
dominated that game for a large spell.
Second half
particularly, and it's just we were playing nice football again, but we couldn't get anything from it because we couldn't finish to save our lives. If the net, you know what? They didn't even need to play with a goalkeeper today. Technically,
Who?
I wish they didn't, because then we actually would have scored.
Their goalkeeper,
because
did
their goalkeeper,
really well.
Jesus Christ,
Pulled off some great saves.
He turned into Edison. What? How? They're in a relegation scrap. They're not supposed to have a player like that.
They're staying up now.
Yeah, they are. 100%.
I've got it. I've got it that they're staying up now.
100%.
We have flashes of chances and stuff, but with all the off-field things, you can understand if their brain was elsewhere, and not really putting all their effort into it.
It's kind of weird seeing the pitch being
the pitch
in a
looked
really
fantastic.
Good state. Yeah, and that's
the
2
pitch
weeks
did
off.
look really good.
The new groundsman, he's a heck of a volunteer, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because I think the issue you got at the minute is now with this result today, we lost right at the death, and it was a stupid free kick to give away. But that second half, we played better, tried to get balls into box. No one could get close enough.
Yeah,
no one could really have that finish to really get in the back net. It was just, it's all season it's been lacking something. It's always been lacking something.
That
I think
final third quality bit.
I think the defense looks a lot safer and a lot less chaotic with Charles in there.
Oh God, yeah.
They look like they trust him. They know what he's doing, and you're thinking, great, that's one for the future. But the fact that he's starting to play them now, which is good. I think the issue I got with it is that when you look at where we need to be and how we need to play, everything that's happened this week just doesn't fill you confident.
No.
With any kind of idea what's going to happen for the future.
If we continue in the way that we have been this week, we are just going to be in League One again, and it will only spiral from there too. I actually genuinely think that for Chancery personally, we were fine as a League One club. He could fund that.
Yeah.
He proved that he could fund that. If we're in League One, fine, because all the expenditure's so much lower than it is in the Championship. Get up to that Championship step, and when you haven't got sponsors and other revenue streams in place, rather than just milking fans for all they're worth, he can't do it.
Well, let's just get into the stats of the game.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You are. 15 shots, 4 on target for us, 8 and 2 for them. 15 shots and only 4 on target.
There you go. That's
been
the season.
Yeah, that's the season in a nutshell. That had been our season.
And then giving away stupid fouls for no real reason at all. That's another stupid thing we've done all season.
There was only 1 offside all game.
Oh.
And it was for Hull. 5 corners, 3. I thought we did better from the corners as well. But this result now has scuppered any chance of playoffs. That's now you can scrap that. That's not to be talked about.
The players and Danny won't say that yet, but then I
think Danny's had to come out and said it. That playoffs is not a thing now. It was interesting, the interview with Radio Sheffield at the end.
It was very somber, wasn't it? It was very
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's
end
done,
of the season.
He's done the whole kind of
I will always remember this group.
I'll remember this group of players. I'll remember these fans, and they've given me the opportunity. He's done.
Yeah.
We ain't seeing Danny next season.
No.
Danny not here next season. I think he deserved to go somewhere where a club is run properly.
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff like that. And we're like, again, we'll get into that. Results of the day, though. Middlesbrough won 2-0 versus Blackburn Rovers. That takes their run of games with the new manager. He's not won one. Guess who he got next on Tuesday, Jack?
Oh, boy. I wonder who it could be.
Could it be Sheffield Wednesday?
Oh, yes.
You might get your first win, Blackburn.
Yeah.
Burnley 2, Coventry 1. West Brom 0, Sunderland 1.
Frank Lampard actually got a yellow card after the final whistle in that game.
Luton Town 1, Leeds United 1.
Oh, dear.
I hate to do the Joy Division thing, but is it falling apart again?
Yeah. I think
I don't think we should. I don't think we're in a position to actually mock any club. To be fair,
I mean, we're safe, so
Yeah, but we're not in any position. Come on, look at the club as a whole.
Yeah. If we don't
big
do that,
result of the day: Oxford 1, Sheffield United 0.
Oh dear.
No. QPR Cardiff 0-0. Millwall 1-2-1 versus Pompey. Pompey did get that to 1-1. Bristol City 2-1. Swansea 1. Derby County 0. I know you'll like that result. Preston 1, Stoke 1, Wheelock 1-0 to Hull, Plymouth 2, Norwich 1.
Oh.
So table looks like this. Burnley are top with 84 points. Sheffield United are second on 83. Leeds are third in 82nd. Middlesbrough, Bristol City and Sunderland make your playoff contenders. There's a point in it.
Ooh.
In the playoffs between Coventry, West Brom. There's 1 point in it with Coventry, and I think there's 2 points in it with West Brom. We're 13th, 52 points. Not going up, not going down this season. I think everyone would have taken that start of the season.
I know I definitely would. I don't think we would not have survived those playoffs. It would have been embarrassing, I think, actually. With the teams that are in the mix now,
Yeah, it's a weird one because this week we've now got a double game week coming. And let's just get into the news and get to the elephant in the room, because
the golden elephant in the goddamn entranceway, some might even say.
Let's talk about it. He's not paid him again.
It's habitual. This is habitual now. This is you would actually say that stuff like this habitually happening, issues with this sort of thing, is literal incompetence.
Yeah.
Like, people get the sack over this if they weren't the director or whatever of a company. You get the sack for this sort of a thing if it's repeated more than however many times. How many times is this now? What, 3? He's done it because I
think it's 3 times.
There were a couple of times just at the end of COVID,
but he's now done it twice in 1 calendar year.
Yep.
Because he didn't pay HMRC on time,
No.
and he's now not paid players on time. We do know that general staff have been paid.
Yes, as
and
of
backroom
like
staff
yesterday, I
and
think.
stuff like that. As of Friday, they've been paid.
Yeah.
But there's I think it was 10 or 11. I think it was 10 senior players haven't been paid.
Mm.
And it's the thing. We'll get into this interview done with the Star in a minute, but you can't keep doing this. You can't keep coming out with the statements. You can't keep coming out with, I've done this, I've done that. Let's get into the article because we'll get into what he said. A statement from Wednesday we released on Monday night. Speaking just days out from the reality of a 3-window embargo. So remember, 3 window, it's not a 3-year embargo that some people have thought.
3 of the transfer windows.
Basically summer, January, summer.
Yeah.
We will only be able to do freeze and loan, but we'll get into that in a bit. Chansiri said, I cannot tell you when, but of course I want to pay. Friday is what I want, but it's not Friday. Then I can't do no more. It could be Monday. It can come any minute. I spoke with those who owe him money. They said they are trying to do it. It is normal. It's not normal.
It's not normal.
No,
this is not normal.
It is a domino effect or something like that. When you do have a business, you understand any company is short on cash flow or they do not get paid. It's normal. It is normal. It is business. I do my best to solve it. Find me another championship club or EFL club who are doing this. Because I think you'll be pushed to find one.
But this... Yes, this is business. This is not the business of running a football club and owning a football club. To own and run a football club, you need to have money in reserves. You need to actually be able to fund the efforts.
Yep.
It's not like you're selling cars or something. It's not like, ooh, let's just get a bridging loan on this property. No, it's not like that in any semblance of the word. You have to have the cash to keep it operating. That's how it works. How does someone not know how this works? 10 years into owning a goddamn club.
Yeah.
And so many people have been there to advise him, to help.
So many
and he's just
chances.
turned them away. There's been so many chances and so many second chances from people to say, oh, maybe you'll get it right this time. Look at yet again. Like
one of the things we had on Friday or Thursday, it's like we got an E-bar. It broke at half time.
There was one of them on the North Stand that was reportedly broken 20 minutes after it was opened.
He goes on to say, I'm never going to make any excuses. I am wrong. I am sorry for that. I have not paid them. I am wrong. But it is never my intention. I try, even in the situation with no revenue. Excuse me. In COVID, I tried. People know me. They know I do not like owing anyone money. I do not create trouble for anyone. I tried everything to do my best. But your best has not been good enough. We are going to go into yet another embargo if they're not paid by Monday under your stewardship. And we're going to have issues again where we're going to have to try and put a squad together out of freeze, out of anything. And the thing, it's all right saying that you don't want to make any excuses. And
You've literally just made excuses.
We'll literally go into this later because the bits in it that he says. The thing is, we've made so much cash, and we'll go into this here. He goes, the new comes in months after the club put on a sale for their early bird season tickets, a figure among to £1 million, as well as not significant windfall from a sold-out Sheffield derby and sales in the club shop. The Owls owner category denied rumours that they had suffered any payment issue with the kit supplier. Chansiri said the season ticket money has been spent and unable to reference to any unexpected cost when asked that the windfall had been spent on running costs alone. Where is the money? But we'll get into this in a minute. We spend $2 million every month on average. Some months maybe I don't need to inject. Some months I have to inject. The season ticket money is gone on costs. Our expenditure is high. The season tickets are a few million. It does not last months and months. It's not like that. The money has been spent on cost. The majority is always the player wages. These are not unexpected costs. We know what we need. Right. This is again, you're going... unexpected cost. What is it that we're paying then? That's unexpected. Where is it? Where's the clarity? This isn't giving you clarity. It's giving us more questions than answers. You're saying it went to the wages. It shouldn't be going to wages. There should be a thing that is money put aside
fund,
for wages.
Yes, exactly. If there's all these expected costs, why can we not afford to pay them? Well, if they're expected costs, you plan for
here's the thing.
These costs to be accounted for in finances.
If our finances are high, why are we not finding a way to lower them?
Exactly.
Why are we not trying to find something to lower the costs as kind of thing? He goes on.
It wouldn't surprise me if so many of these unexpected costs are stadium maintenance.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things have been coming out recently that, like...
it's all speculation.
It's all speculation. The ground is getting assessed now.
Yeah, but I think that happens. I think that happens every year.
Yeah.
I think there's a thing to make sure it gets done.
The clock on the North Stand, it's withering away.
Yep.
So much of the ground is withering away. And if you had put that money in, for example, for Jordan Rhodes, all the fans want Jordan Rhodes, and we're going to really get them on side if I buy Jordan Rhodes for £10 million. You didn't get them on side for £10 million. If you put that into the infrastructure of the club.
But if we actually put that, but if you put it the other way, yes, they should have done that.
Yeah.
But hindsight's a good thing. We didn't know that Jordan Rhodes wasn't going to pay off. For all our thing, it could have paid off, and we could have been in the playoff final. But the other thing you've got here, he goes, you may act, I don't have money on hand, but I don't keep money on hand. I need to invest. I need to use the money. Not everyone in business is going to have a lot of money on hand, except those who do not. For example, after 10 years, of course, my money is left. If I do not invest, then how are we going to generate money to invest in the club? What are you investing your money in? That's the question, because you're not telling us what you're investing money in. People can't find what your businesses are. People have tried to find what your businesses are. You're going, you don't have money on hand. So if you don't have money on hand, how are you running us?
Well, the problem is, if you have money on hand, that gets taxed. And a lot of business people, they don't want to get taxed. So they invest.
But what's he investing in? What are we putting money into?
Clearly not Sheffield Wednesday, because otherwise the wages would have been paid for the staff and everything.
He goes, the money we get from fan helps, of course. It does not mean fan money does not help. We are managed on a loss. We're majority of clubs run all off. Even in the Premier League, we lost millions last year. And when fan money comes in, it still needs to come out. Most clubs rely on club owners. I'm not disagreeing that most clubs agree on the owner. But they also have something where it's set in place. The club relies on my money. Expenditure for the club is very big. It's not easy. I can just say I will do my best. I'm sick of this line, I'll do my best. Your best hasn't been good enough. And yeah, we rely on your money because you refuse to get any help.
And you refuse to find, like, other big income streams, sponsorship deals, all that sort of stuff. It just...
He goes on to say that he had called he maintained his continued ownership of Sheffield Wednesday. That's scary. For he has even though indicate willing to listen to potential buyers. Summarising, for example, if a prince from the Middle East were to launch an offer he felt that he could take Wednesday to the Premier League, he would accept the deal was right. He said it would not be a deal just based on money. It would only sell to the right people, and I would be happy to talk on that basis. But you're not talking to anyone, though. You're not having anyone help you bring any money in. That's my question. My question is, why are we not actually doing that? The thing is, I understand where he's saying and what he's saying, but you're then saying does a prince from the Middle East know who the hell we are at this moment in time? Like you're using an example as a prince from the Middle East.
It's because that feels like he's just plucked that from what has been a buzzword on social media, what lots of fans might have said on Twitter, formerly known as X, formerly known as Twitter.
He said
or something like that.
He claimed the club has not received any contract approaches for the club in recent weeks. He spoke to the matter of fact for the much of the inter, firing back at suggesting he appears relaxed on the situation. How do you know I'm relaxed? I'm the leader. I'm not the kind of person to cry or something. When you played in Peterborough and lost 4-0, people ask me, you don't feel anything because I look normal. I put inside, I do not mean I'm relaxed. I do not show you are unserious. I'm not an actor. I'm straightforward. Inside is more hurt than I show. Unless you know me, you don't understand. Which, just going to pull a question mark here. I'm pretty sure the Peterborough owner turned around that Chansiri on the Hib podcast turned around and said he didn't have any friends in football, if I remember correctly. I might be misquoting that. But again, we're going on to the bit of this where it turns about the free transfer window embargo. That will be catastrophic for the future of the club. Chancery indicates that he believes that while it would be better to return to the ability to sign players on transfers and loan fees, the fortunes of the club would depend on the recruitment they were able to complete alongside the squad in the summer. The terms of the EFL embargo do allow club to register free agent players and fulfill a squad on the same basis the loan player can be signed, therefore no loan fee involved. Now, this is the bit that everyone picked up on in the entire interview, and it's the bit where you worry.
It's so unbelievably out of touch.
You worry so much.
Yeah, yep.
Chancery turned around and said that you can see even Reading, for example, they have a problem with embargo, but they could get promoted. Sometimes I do not understand the mindset from the outside of buying players in is not good. Actually, buy loan or free. It doesn't matter if it matters if the player fits your squad or not. Or it doesn't mean free or loan. It's always cheaper to buy. Sometimes they are more expensive. You used a really bad example on how a football club runs. They are currently, at this moment in time, in the position where they've been told by the EFL that their owner needs to find someone to buy the club.
By the 22nd of April, the Reading need to find, the Reading owner needs to find someone to buy the club. Otherwise, they are kicked out of professional football. They are sent into the league below the National League South, what they'd be in.
Yeah.
Which is just the regional football for Reading, for like a 100-year-old club that has been in the Premier League, that has set, I think it's still the record highest points holder for getting promotions to the Premier League, right? I think.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
I think so, yeah.
And that could be a club that, because their owners mismanage them, might not even be in professional football anymore. And Dave von Chancery has turned around and said, that's a good example of a club that's could get promoted, but they're still under an embargo.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but read the room.
They're actually not in an embargo. I think they're off the embargo list now.
Yeah. But even so, like, read the room.
It's not,
that club could get wound up entirely.
It's not the club to be using as the example. Like, it really just speaks to the naivety of it all. He said, of course, some players we may need to sell, but whatever happens must happen. Right. Some players we might need to sell. Do you even know what that is?
Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to value a player? Do you know how to properly
make a good
deal? Because we could have sold players in the past and we haven't, because allegedly it wasn't I don't want to give 20% of the fee to the previous club that we got them from. Okay, but you still keep 80%. You still keep more than you spent for that player. That is good. Like,
so he goes on to say, even if we're in embargo, it does not mean we cannot bring players in. You may say we could only bring lesser players, but it depends on what we could recruit. Of course, it's not good if you're under embargo, but it's not going to be the last day of your life. It could very well be the downfall of us as a club again.
Yep.
You're not understanding this at all. When we recruited in the summer, my coach said he wanted five or six players, then 11. I supported that. Wait, you said that he wanted 6 or 5. Wait a minute. You said in the bloody fan forum that Danny wanted 5 or 6, and then you gave him 14. You gave him.
Was it 14? Was it 12?
And I gave him 11.
Yeah.
I support. He said we could be in the playoffs. This means our players are good enough, right? No, it means there's a good chance we can be. It's not just on players. This is not me saying it. The coach said this. The fans say I do not invest in January. It's not true. At the end, it's a decision as a coach. I think that using the January thing, full stop, I don't care. That's gone. I don't think you're in a position to use that whole thing. We've said on this podcast you were both bad at each other in January.
Yeah.
You both should have put differences aside, got it sort of, spoke, whatever. We spoke about that till we're blue in the face. Yes, January will have cost us because we needed a defender. We needed a striker. We got a bit in to try and help, but like Sissoko, we've barely seen him for whatever reason. This, I'll be honest with you, Jack, it just reads as a pity party. It doesn't read as a start statement.
It's not my fault. It's the businesses that owe me. Well, it is your fault because you're the owner of the football club, Mr. Chansiri. It's your job to make sure that the funds are available, to have the reserve of funds available. As of next season, you've got to prove to the EFL that you have 12 months of finances of the club ready to go that are secure and that won't have this weird little domino chain situation going on. Otherwise, potentially, we could be in a Reading situation where we're kicked out of professional football entirely.
Oh, we could be very much in a Reading situation.
And also, why is the focus so much on the players that we've brought in? It doesn't, so many fans are actually saying the stadium is falling apart. The stadium looks shabby. There's been nothing done other than what? The flattening of the pitch surface.
It's looked a lot better today, to be fair.
Oh yeah, that groundsman. You see, stuff like that. Getting the head groundsman in that's an award-winning groundsman. That behind-the-scenes stuff means a healthy club. It doesn't just have to be the 11 players on the pitch. If somebody's telling you that as advice, they're not telling you the full story.
I think my issue is, the big issue I have, and it's a big one. Why was this interview Friday night?
I don't know.
Before the game. He does it all the time. He does it just before a game to just get but I think it because we're in Thailand, I think it's already Saturday or something like the time difference.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't, in good faith or good confidence, trust or believe what he says because it doesn't help. Yes, I will give you credit for getting Danny in. That was a good move.
Yeah.
I will give you credit for...
It was a gamble, but it was
I
a
will
great
give
move,
you credit for backing him and bringing players in when he wanted in. But that's the job of an owner. That's the job of running a business. You put this in.
Yeah.
There's so many times we could have... You're saying selling players. Immediately that's going to me. Charles is going, Gasama's going.
Yep.
Maybe
even play hot prospects in the academies going, like Bailey Cadamarchi could be getting sold.
Bailey technically
Rio Shipston could be getting sold.
Bailey technically first team though.
Oh yeah, true. Actually, yeah. Well, there you go.
But this is the thing. Whenever we look like we are planning for a future and looking like we're gonna get somewhere, this happens all the time.
Every single time.
Every single time when we look like we're about to be closer. Damn it.
Yeah.
In a good position, a good manager, ready to go. Like Alan Biggs this week came out with talking about will Port Vale sack
their manager after getting them promotion.
And they're like, was he sacked or was it mutual? And Alan Biggs went and sacked.
Full stop.
So we know that was the case there. The thing is, you do things like this. You want the fan to trust you. You want the fan to be on your side. We can't be on your side when you do this. Because you drag our name through the mud. I understand you might be hurting and you might be feeling the embarrassment of doing this. But where is the extra funds put aside for just in case? Why is there no savings at all to fund something? Where's all the money gone? Where's the Matt Consher blackout kit money, the season ticket money? If that's all gone and you're saying most of that went on wages, why? That money shouldn't go out of wages.
No.
That money should go into other parts of the club.
The training ground, for example, or the stadium, making sure the roofs don't fall down because they're like, what? How old will they be at this point? 80 years old?
Something like
that?
Yeah.
All of that sort of stuff. But it's apparently just all about players and their wages. It's more... The football club is more than just the goddamn starting 11 and the bench.
I'm going to say... I don't know if you remember. Do you remember a game called LMA Manager?
Yes.
Right. In that, unlike FM, you had to do the maintenance of your ground.
Yes.
You had to do the maintenance of your training ground. You thought he doesn't do that.
No.
He doesn't. he sees. The thing is, you had everyone back on side when you got Danny signed.
Yep.
People I'm going to give you the benefit of doubt.
Exactly.
You signed up the good manager. If Danny is going, I do believe the rumours that Henrik and Paolo stay.
Yeah,
they might be the new managers instead of Danny. If Danny might go and go off.
Yeah.
I genuinely now think 100% Danny ain't staying.
No,
we are not keeping Danny.
Yeah,
Danny's statement at the end of the game going, I'm proud of these players. I'll never forget them and all that. That he's gone. He's done.
At the end of the season, he's off to somewhere else.
He knew. He said at Oxford he would know roughly. He'd go, no, I know now.
Yep.
Because the players haven't been paid, and if they're not paid on Monday, we've got a lot.
Embargo, yeah.
We've got a lot of players out of contract that we're going to talk about the embargo and what it means and stuff like that. But the issue you've got now, there's no planning, there's no future. What we can go for next. All we know is potentially we're in a relegation battle next season.
Yep.
I don't want to say it straight away because you never know what happens.
These are the early warning signs, aren't they? Of
you never know what happens. Like if the fit and proper rule test is coming up that you have to show 12 months of cash, he's gonna fail them hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
And if that's the case, it needs to be failed, but then he needs to be told you've got 12 months to get a new owner.
You must sell.
You must sell in the next 12 months.
And also,
the problem is though, I don't like that the FL say you must sell in the next 12 months, where or the club won't be won't
exist. Yeah.
I'd rather them go, look, if your owner won't sell in 12 months, we're going to put them in touch with people who do sales.
Yep.
And we're going to bring the people in to help get good owners.
Yep.
But then again, they don't want to have that accountability because if it goes wrong, it's on them.
Yep.
But you were saying,
it's just you know how a lot of fans and a lot of the fan groups and everything have always pushed for a plan of the next 5 to 10 years of what we want to see from the club, and there's always been resistance. There's always been, well, it doesn't affect you, so why are you so bothered about it? Yes, it does, because Sheffield Wednesday it's not just a cinema. It's not just a theatre that you go and you buy your burger and you buy your beer and you go and sit down and watch for 90 minutes. It's a cultural hub. It's got so much more outreaching communal aspects than that. There's the whole community program. Why would you sink so much money into that community program facility and then it's so scatterbrained? It's so like, oh, I'm quickly going to do that. Oh, I'm quickly going to... I don't get it. Show us the plan. What is the plan? Because so many people are so...
Every one of that is for plan. And the original plan was to get up to the Premier League by 2017 because it would have been our 150th anniversary. Yeah. Then the plan seemed to backfire because we got embargo. Yeah. We had stuff happening. Like you look at some of the players we got in that 2019 season. There were frees. There were some that were brought in that were paid, but not by much. Yeah. Like look in the summer, we were all celebrating that we signed up both for 2.5 million. And that's not something you celebrate.
And the reason why why the fan groups and lots of fans want to see the plan is because leading up to the very first time all of the embargo situation happened and we couldn't spend money and all that stuff is because not having a plan, really, a concrete plan and how we're going to achieve it, that's exactly what got us into that mess in the first place. And that's why for so many years now, since 2019, since about COVID, everybody's wanted to see the plan. Yeah. Because not having that plan is what got us into the big mess in the first place. We want the club to still be... I know Mr. Chansiri still wants the club to be here because he wouldn't say the certain things that he did in that interview if he didn't care.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, no, I don't think it's a case that he doesn't care. I think it's just he's a crap businessman. Everything's done...
And that's a subjective opinion. This is not a fact of...
It's not.
It's a subjective...
From outside
looking in, without knowing all of the
inner
facts, workings of everything.
It doesn't show that he's a good businessman, not having cash on hand. The clubs will have... The clubs that are run right, and clubs that maybe not run great, but they'll still have the funds.
Take over and
they'll still have the funds there. I think Monday we'll know what's going on. Yeah. Monday we'll know what's going on and we'll know if we're embargoed.
Monday's D-Day, basically.
We know there's one club already embargoed, which is Oxford. They did something with a payment to a club and it wasn't right, and then they got done. Yeah. And paid a fine. Embargo. Let's talk about embargo then, because what is it going to do? By the way, I love how it goes. What is the embargo on the start? By the way, that's no disrespect to Alex Miller or Joe Cran. It's like, we know, but it's like you're just giving us a refresher course. Because we haven't had it for like a season or two.
Yeah. We've forgotten in a season. Yeah.
So, if it'll be embargo because it's 12-month period because we missed HMRC and now we've missed players' wages, right? It's to try and keep everything from breaching the rules, blah, blah. I like that. I don't mind the embargo shit because I think it actually does help show people there's an issue.
Yeah.
But can we still sign players? Yes. Under very strict rules, not considered a transfer fee or loan fee would mean Wednesday would be limited to signing free agents or players available on loan without a fee of at all. And even only if they had less than 23 players in total, practice described by the FL as staffing and designated to ensure a degree of competitiveness for embargo club. Club cannot pay additional wages on top of the wages already paid by parent club. Under this circumstance, a player can only be signed until the end of the season, and a loan player can only be signed for half a season. So if we fall in love with a loan player, we're screwed.
Yep.
And if we fall in love with a player who does really well, we can only sign them for a season. But if you're in a free transfer ban at the end, no, you can't. No. At the end of that thing, you will only be able to sign them in January.
Yep.
And knowing what Wednesday like will make them amazingly good, really good. Put eyes on them, then we'll be like,
Aidan
can't sign
McGeady all over again, won't it? Ugh.
Yep. What about academy players? The squad total of 23 players mentioned above consist only of players of a professional standard. In theory, clubs placed under a register are able to register academy players and scholars to play in the senior football. Those players can be upgraded to professional contracts without becoming a player of professional standing, but only depending on the certain standards of the club, with those decisions being ratified by EFL. Basically, everything you get to do is got to be looked at by the EFL.
Yep.
Everything has got to have a EFL stamp of approval before you do anything. We can still offer contract. Again, got to be ratified by the EFL. So the 30-day rule can be appealed, but I don't think we will. Because we know what we've done. We have royally messed up. I'm not going to even say we. He's royally messed up because that makes it sound like we've messed up. We haven't done anything. I think for me the issue is now it's where do we go from here? What's the next thing? Because the fan groups are getting together to do what they want to do and try and get answers, which I think is the right thing.
It really is.
Support. Go join the supporters trust.
Please join the supporters trust.
Yeah,
please do it because it's one of the biggest ways to drive traction towards getting pressure for the club to be sold to someone. To be fair, the fact that they've got all the connection with all the supporter stuff with the FA and stuff like that. Where does it lead the players? There's going to be a lot of players who are now thinking about for the future what we do. And it's also, for me, like the list of players who we potentially want to let go in the summer. I'm now going, you keep him. You keep him. You keep him. You can't invest. If there's going to be this embargo, you can't invest like you want to. Even if that is what the plan might be, you can't do it because...
The problem is, the last time we were embargo, we went down to League One, didn't we? He had 2 seasons in League One where he couldn't bend anything. He came up to the Championship. Didn't start well.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Got Danny in. Danny gave us hope. He's in theory, he's only had 2 seasons where he's been able to spend money.
Yeah.
And now he wants to do in theory, a season and a bit where he can't spend money on a player. It's like he's wanting to fill his piggy bank up to go use us again. I can fund you again. I can do this again.
I can do it again.
Look, for the players that are not getting paid, we support you, but it's supporting the team now.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be so many people who are not going to want to go to the games or they're not going to buy shirts. Don't go at people who want to do that because that's not fair.
Yeah.
Also, let's leave any bad way of going about it because today I think one of the support groups had to put something up saying let's not be racist towards the chairman. No need for that. Don't attack his family either.
No.
It's not his kid's fault. It's not his missus' fault. It's nothing to do with it. This is about him. And the thing is, the way they're doing it, where it's respectful, where we as the fan base don't come across as the bad guys.
But yeah,
Because the moment that you give someone a chance like that to make us the bad guys,
they will take it.
They will take it.
They will absolutely take it, hand over fist.
And we don't want to have that. What we want is a clear path and a plan of what's going to happen. I'm going to say it now, but at the end of the season, we're going to be thanking Danny for the job he's done. He's done an incredible job. He gave us 18 months of belief.
Yep.
Which, let's be honest, when he came in,
after it
looked like we were dead and buried.
Yeah.
He managed to put belief in the players. He put belief in the fans. Depending on what happens, who might stay, we might keep some of the people. Right now, I'm speculating because we don't have anything. There's no real thing. His interview at the end was very
somber, wasn't it?
He knows it's up. He knows it's up basically with the chance of getting playoffs. His idea was to get playoffs. But again, DC gambled on getting playoffs.
Yeah.
He's not he gambled on the whole thing. If we get playoffs, we'll do this. I can get this. He gambled again.
If I see one more statement come out of the club,
he's got to be busy.
That says something like, these things happen in football. Yes, they happen to the football clubs that are not being run correctly. They don't happen to a Brighton, a Brentford, a Bournemouth, a Plymouth, even I'd say, yes, they're a bit of a whipping boy. They still don't happen to the likes of them. They don't happen to the well-run clubs.
I'll be honest with you, though. You say that there's a lot of Plymouth fans that don't like their owner, and they want their owner gone. But at least he pays people on time.
He's working within his means that he has, and he's making sure that none of this sort of thing happens ever, and he doesn't disrespect the fans as well.
I think the issue you've got now is where do we go next? Like
he needs to sell. He needs to sell.
He needs to sell, but I don't think he will.
If he doesn't sell the club with the current state we're in and the financial state it's putting him in, why?
I don't see what the fun it is for him to own the club where he's constantly getting battered and berated.
Yeah. And if you're in this situation where you can't afford to even run it, why are you keeping hold of it?
The thing is, it's the whole thing again. I said it on a couple of videos of mine. It's a chain reaction. If someone doesn't pay, it's like a house.
Yeah.
So you're at the bottom of the chain, and then something happens at the top, and the chain breaks. It affects all of you.
Yeah.
That DC is effectively the bottom of the chain.
Yep. He's the end of the train.
And because he's not been paid, it broke. And
you can't run a football.
You can't run it like this. It can't be this every time. And the problem is it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the thing is, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen next.
We need to see a plan. We need to have an element of transparency, of a vision of, and also that's the case in point on how if you should know if you should sell or not. Do you have a vision? No. Do you want to bring in anybody that can help you with making that vision happen? Like a director of football, for example, like you had in 2015, but then got rid of them at the end of that first season that you owned the club. And if you don't want to do that, then can you afford to actually just keep going ad hoc like you have been? No.
So
why are you still keeping hold of the club and owning it?
We got 2 games coming up now. We'll know more Monday with what's happened. We've got Blackburn Rovers, who since their manager has come in, he hasn't won a game. Hi.
Hello.
Hope you enjoy your first win.
Hello.
Their record is 15, 7, 18, 52 points. Ironic, the same as us. We're on 53. They are properly plummeted.
They really have.
I think they're below us. Yeah. At one point, they were in playoffs. Their home record is 10, 3, 7, 33 points. Their away record is 19, 43 goals. Again, 42 goal for. How do you think it's going to go?
I think it's going to go similar to the game today, personally. I think it'll be copy and paste.
Right.
Just an away performance. Today we've literally just watched. We've just literally
are we away or
encountered the whole fixture. It's... I
Get in the
can't
way.
see it being a different result. Yes, we might play well. Yes, Danny might get the players playing well, but I can't see us getting the result somehow. Just like against Cardiff.
The problem is we are talking like he's already gone in the terms of it. And he kind of saying it. I think it's weird because I want to say that he's gone, but there's also the way he's speaking. It's like, I'm proud of what my players have done this season because he knows the season's done.
But
So there's part of me that's
yeah.
like that, where he's gone, I'll remember these players because they've been good players to me and stuff. The part of me that's like that, and that the part of me that's like just sounding unrealistic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm giving myself that little bit of hope. I'll never forget these players. Because that mean he knows some of the players are not going to be staying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so weird.
It's
so frustrating. We got Oxford on Saturday. Down 42 points, 19th place. 32 points at home, 10 points away. That is a home game, the Oxford game, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
All in all, season's done.
Yeah, season's done.
Season now is done.
It's a mid-table finish.
I'll be honest with it. I wanted that
It's an
season.
improvement from last year, but it's just...
It's an improvement from last year, but going into something that we don't know what's going to happen next.
Exactly.
And
Long
that's
term,
the issue.
It's just all up in the air because of this recent...
You got anything else to say?
Do you know what, mate? I was thinking about this the other day. I am so glad, and I was getting emotional the other day thinking about this too. I'm so glad my dad isn't around to see this.
Oh yeah, because
he's
he's a Reading fan as well.
Because he's a small, like, his small club was Reading because that's where he grew up, and then his huge club was Sheffield Wednesday. And to see them both like this in this state, it's upsetting for me. God knows how it would have been for him, and and that must go for so many other Wednesday fans out there as well. That, like, it's just, I'm so sick of the club of the size of Sheffield Wednesday being just a laughing stock all the time, all because of the owner not knowing what the hell he's doing and then refusing
how many podcasts
to bring in anybody.
Since doing the podcast, how many all three of us have done where we're constantly talking about the owner and talking about this. And like when James did a video on it midweek, I told you both midweek before it even got close that he's not paid them. And you were very much like, no.
We were a bit on the cautious side of like, he can't really do that again because it'll be really, really bad for him and the club.
Yeah.
And then he does it again.
I think the thing I've got is...
And this was what, back in November, I think, that we were having this conversation around that sort of a time. Oh,
November when we didn't pay the tax bill.
Yep.
I think my thing will be support the club, support the players on the pitch, support the staff, members of staff. Be careful what you say. Like, don't go overboard, and also don't go get things and giving ammunition. It's no point. We're all Wednesday, aren't we? And hopefully we'll still be saying that for years and years and years to come.
One of the best adverts for the club to anybody that wants to buy us is the fans, and is how the fans are, because that's who they're going to be dealing with if they buy the club. So we have to do our utmost best to show that we are a worthy fan base to steward the club of, if that makes sense. A bit like Birmingham fans did when the Nighthead group were looking at taking them over. But that's the approach we need to take now.
I think that's all we got for today.
Yeah.
Sombering end.
Very sombering end.
Really. Midweek, Dexter got a watch along for the Tuesday game. James will be back next weekend to do it. And then we need to figure it all out because you've got cricket season again. So I need to figure out. I need to start figuring all that lot out. But thank you for watching, guys. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast.
Adios.